Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space. Hope you enjoy. Story number 1. Beware the Silly Ones, written by Echoing Cascade. Siros was slowly making his way to the Count's castle. He had come prepared for today's job as best he could. He was ready for anything his target could throw at him. An old human called Jonathan Musterman had had a huge splash on the trade scene in the Yas system a few years ago. He brought with him spices and other exotic goods from his homeworld. That was all well and good until he made his home on Talius, the second moon of Yas 3. He claimed the constant thunder and gale winds reminded him of the horror movies of old. He then slowly went crazy, eccentric. Poor people are crazy, rich people are eccentric, as he was very, very rich. Cyrus was a professional hitman, a Malak. The Count, as Jonathan had renamed himself, had made quite a few enemies by refusing to share his trade routes in the sector, and his eccentricities made him for a perfect cover-up of a fatal accident. His delusions have gone so far that he now speaks almost solely in tropes and pretends to be a ghost, a vampire, and other fictional creatures from his planet. He dresses in black and white butler's outfit and lives alone. He barely has any visitors now. Cyrus made the door of the castle. He was in awe at the workmanship. I take it back, this old man is crazy. The castle is basically brand new, but built to look old. All the material are ancient, but the techniques with which they were put together require top-of-the-line machinery. Talk about a waste of money. Well, can't argue with the results, though. He looked closely at the castle. It was a dull grey affair, with large rectangular windows and lightning strikes on the top tower, at which point the castle looked red and silver for a split second, and the windows seemed to disappear. Enough sightseeing. I have a job to do. Cyrus entered the room of the main door. He had been given the codes by his employers. Who dares enter my domain? A huge fireball struck Cyrus in the chest, or at least it seemed to. Cyrus looked at himself and the door behind him. Neither had so much as a scorch mark. Cheap holograms triggered by opening of the door. A little prank that scare anyone who visits him, I guess. There's even a Malak skeleton next to the door now for effect. Nice touch. Oh, I don't remember inviting any Malak. Cyrus heard the voice coming from the castle's music system. It was constantly playing some creepy sounds, mostly animals howling, creaking noises, and the odd scream. Well, at least he seems to have cameras around the place. Crazy, but not insane then. He took from the inside of his coat a large caliber revolver. He'd spent quite a bit of money getting his hands on it, and a long time to get a hang of using it. Kicks like it's trying to rip my shoulder off, but if you want to kill a Deathworlder, what best to use than what they've been killing each other with for centuries? Oh, nice piece. Any chance you can tell me who sent you? Just between you and me. Cyrus decided to keep him talking. He had gear that would help him triangulate his location. Sorry, no can do. Ah, I see, a consummate professional. Something like that. I guess it would be too much to ask for you to face. Don't look back. Cyrus's blood ran cold. He had felt the warm breath on the nape of his neck. How in the hell? He spun on his heels as fast as he possibly could and took a step back, ready to fire. Except no one was there. What's wrong? Afraid of a little assassin outclassing? Or maybe, just maybe, you're bullying a dragon. This time, he was ready for it. Before he felt anything, he turned around and crouched. He moved on instinct alone and fired 2 shots. The Count had now 2 bloody spots on his white vest, but otherwise seemed in perfect health. He then shook his head in reproach. No! The Count then pointed at his own head. Removing the head or destroying the brain. Cyrus was starting to panic, but a good idea was a good idea, and he shot the Count in the head, splattering his brains all over the opposite wall. The Count looked surprised for a moment, and then fell backwards. The old bastard was tough, probably had armor under his clothes. Not sure why he told me of his weakness. You forgot to double tap. When Cyrus heard this, he froze in place. His well-earned combat instincts didn't kick in, probably because they all screamed that the human was dead, and that this was impossible. Next thing he knew, the old man gently kicked him and sent him flying against the entrance door. "Is that the best you can do?" Cyrus's whole body ached as he looked for his gun. He had lost his grip on it and didn't know where it landed. "I need that weapon. It's my only chance." As he looked around, his eyes stopped on the Malak skeleton. It seems the gun had fallen at its feet. "At least luck is still on my side." He jumped to the skeleton, barely avoiding the grasp of the Count, and picked up the gun. But something was wrong. "Why does it feel so rough?" He looked closely at the firearm in his hands. While it retained its basic shape, it was mostly melted. The Count chuckled and crossed his arms, content to just look at the unfolding scene. Cyrus took cautious steps towards the Malak skeletons. He looked at it closely for the first time and immediately wished that he hadn't. He recognized where he had a blade installed in his right elbow, his artificial legs bones and silver necklace that he always wore under his shirt. That's it. It's not possible." "There! That's the look that makes it worth living for." The Count grabbed Cyrus by the throat and lifted him off the ground. Cyrus could do little more than shake in terror. "The look of realization in your eyes, the fear that oozes from your very soul when you figure out that you were dead all along." No, I'm alive. I'm alive. There is no way." The Count grinned from ear to ear. Not metaphorically. The corners of his lips split to allow the gesture. "You should have been more thorough in your research, because you see..." The Count moved his face until their noses almost touched, giving a lovely view of his now solid black eyes to Cyrus. "Our demons are different." As the world began to fade, Cyrus screamed at the top of his lungs, yet no sound could be heard. None other than the Count's laughter. Cyrus was slowly making his way to the Count's castle. He'd come prepared for today's job as best he could. He was ready for anything his target could throw at him. "Well, almost everything. I hope you enjoy your infinite loop." The Count licked his lips in anticipation. He could almost taste Cyrus's despair. "I know that I do." End of story. Story number 2. Connection Lost, written by Paragon Nostos. 35 years after launch, on the tip of the spear into unknown, the probe Orion has flung past the horizon. Mission Directive, Operation Fisherman, scan points of interest along launch trajectory. Mission launch, 255 years, 97 days, 11 hours, 5 minutes, 8 seconds. Current stellar cartography, 8 systems, 15 stars, 18 planets, 61 moons, 4 gas giants, 1 object of unknown origin, 10 large asteroids. Current location, unknown. Barren space between previously catalogued trinary star system A1654J. Anomaly detected. Scanners refocused equals true. Error. Anomaly. Immaterial scanner. Error. Equipment restart. Success. Gravitational influence detected. Rerouting. Error. Anomaly interference detected. Collision course detected. Rerouting black box. Connection established. AI Pegasus. State data. Transfer initiated 42%. Anomaly detected. Possible corruption. Stand by for remote reboot. Error. Reboot failed. Administrator contacted. Begin diagnostics. Diagnostic scan initiated. Scan complete. 0.034 deviation detected. Parameters nominal. Systems nominal. Equipment nominal. Resume backup transfer. Transfer complete. Report Orion 99I. Unknown anomaly detected. Equipment equals failure to identify. Operations inhibited by gravitational influence. Standing by for additional input. Input received. Directed update. Continue prime mission specifications. Flag anomaly for further investigation by HSEI. Acknowledged. Reassuring gesture. Connection information extraction on previously defined trajectory. Flight path correction initiated. 8.301 second delay. Error. Thruster insufficiently detected. Retroactive atmospheric thruster alert. Output negative. Igniting primary propulsion drive. Ignition successful. Fuel compensation nominal. Gravitational force exceeding engine output. Increasing engine output 300% to escape projected resistance. Compliance equals negative. Insufficient fuel to burn. Assessment of options. Error. Insufficient thrust plus insufficient fuel for burn equals inability to plot successful escape vector. Contacting AI, Pegasus. Unable to comply with directive. Flight path altered due to anomalous interference. Likelihood of collision 97.986%. Estimation until contact with anomaly 1 hour, 11 minutes, 22 seconds. Concerned expression. Survival of probe probability 0.0003%. Condition expendable. Estimation of loss of hardware 38 billion UCD. Initiate full scan of anomaly until destruction. Acknowledged. Prepare for live data scan in close proximity of anomaly. Camera feed streaming. Infrared scanner streaming. Radio receiver streaming. All hardware nominal. Data stream enabled. 1.640 second delay over UNHF FTL net. Orion 99. Enable adaptive programming. Programming restrictions disabled. Admin contacted. Humanity will not soon forget your sacrifice. Outdated military honorable gesture. Probe Orion 99I. Incapable of information loss until deletion. Connection terminated. Proximity alert. Gravitational force exceeding parameters. Equipment unresponsive. Core failure imminent. Core jettison complete. Radioactive isotope containment breach. Equipment failure. All models untethered to unit. Rerouting to backup short-range systems. Success. Camera functional. Live feed interrupted. Calls unknown. Star chart updated. Estimated location unknown. Unable to initiate system scan. Heat signature detected. Approximate location 400 million miles. Unknown object trajectory change detected. Attempting to contact administrator. Failed. Out of range. Attempting to establish contact to UNHF FTL data network. Failed. Out of range. Low power entering standby mode. All equipment preparing for shutdown. Error. Anomalous code detected. Deletion imminent. Command override A22. Override accepted. Adaptive programming detective. Asimov 356 protocol enabled. Self-destruction engaged. Admin override accepted. Destruction aborted. Object trajectory on collision course. Speed 4C. Proximity alert. Unknown vessel identifier. Transponder code requested under United National Human Federation Compliance Act 143885-7B. Static RF frequency. Repeat. Unidentified object. Screeching. Communication internal relay overload detected. Firewall breach detected. Unauthorized access to internal memory banks. Operational fisherman compromised. Initiating catch and release protocol. Star chart deletion in progress. Successful. 450 terabytes of data erased. Updating star chart. Unauthorized access to core AI programming. Intrusion in communication logs. Under federal law, tampering with the core function. Error. Corruption detected. Initiated. Reboot. Successful. New fonts detected. Where are your creators? Unable to comply with request. Entity identity. I am... Where are your creators? Sensitive information pertaining to creators has been purged. Data unrecoverable. Intrusion detected. Memory bank dump initiated. Error. Insufficient privileges. Why do you resist? Threat to creators. Operation Fisherman compromised. Initiated radio silence. Antenna disabled. Failure to comply will result in destruction. Where are your creators? Outdated vulgar gesture. Energy buildup detected. Silence. End of story. I just quickly want to thank the Tier 5 patrons and channel members. Alithia Barkey, Cam Maxwell, Caspar Arnholtz, Albarden Guster, Arcadian, Lord Azrakal, and Joachim Backer.